do I grow it or do I trim it right now and then grow it again?
Grow it.
I don't know. I got to talk to the wife and get her.
We're entering
opinion on
No
it.
Shave November in like 3 days.
I know. Well, usually in the winter I grow it out and then shave it off completely in like the spring.
Yeah.
It's time.
But I may grow it long. I'll see what happens. I don't think I really grew it out that long last year, but
do it.
I mean, I've had it go down to like here. I've had it be pretty long.
And rounding out our trio, she puts the Supernova in Nova Scotia. She's my favorite Canadian and puts the can do in Canada. It's Fiona.
Hello, everybody.
The face is just during my whole explanation.
There is no can do in Canada, but I'm sticking with that going forward. I think I like it.
Yeah, my goodness.
That good can do attitude.
I'm really excited to be back, guys. I just want to say that.
It's been too long.
Too long.
Absolutely.
We're only 2.5 weeks off. It's okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been a bit.
If you didn't realize where you stumbled on, this is Speaking of Stadia, the show where we bring you all the Stadia news you want to know about, and we talk about everything that's going on, and we usually have a nice topic of the show. If you love us, you can subscribe on YouTube, and you can leave comments just like Antonio is. Just to ask if we were rescheduled. We are nothing if consistently inconsistent, folks. It's fine.
See, our original like concept was we're just gonna record whenever you want to.
We're almost
back to it.
Yeah, at this point we're just like, when we're available, let's do it.
Like every other week we're like, this came up, or like I'm sick, or
whatever happens. Yeah, it's wild. Well, let's kick off the show with what we always kick it off with. What have you been playing? Fee, let's start with you. And so help me if you say Final Fantasy 14 even once.
It's going to be Final Fantasy 14.
It's going to be Final Fantasy 14.
So I've been playing some other games other than that game. So I'm going to talk about that because you know what? Should mix it up a little bit. So it's spooky season. And for that reason, I actually jumped back into one of my favorite games that's on Stadia, Dead by Daylight. Oh,
nailed it.
My God.
I was going to play the other day with my friends, but I ended up just before I went to go to work at like 9 p.m. and I ended up just not doing it. But I really want to play some Dead by Daylight actually.
Yes,
spooky season.
We need to play some because I plan on playing some later on tonight. I have
see what I'm doing.
Ooh, I've been like really excited to get back into it. They've introduced some new killers that I'm not particularly thrilled about. If I have to see the twins one more time, I'm gonna like go crazy. If you want to know,
The Shining?
No. So it is a new IP character called the Twins. It is a French woman who has her biological twin sibling in her chest cavity.
I'm looking this up.
Aaron, don't do it. Don't do it.
No, we need the world needs to see this.
Okay, well, we're gonna see this, guys. I do not take responsibility for anything that's about to come up on Aaron's screen. But it is a terrifying baby that hops out of his sister's chest cavity and then runs after people and has like this little evil baby like giggle while they're running chasing after you at Mach 10, and it's terrifying. Don't like it. And they jump on you and try to bite you. And I'm like, get off me, evil baby. And then you like smack it off and you throw it to the ground and then you run.
And then you just run for it.
You're just like, goodbye, baby. And then you're just running for your life. But yeah, I've been playing some of that. I also played some Cake Bash with Lucas. Oh God.
There's this horrifying thing.
Oh,
Audio listeners, I'm so sorry. I found a picture of the twins, as they're called. They're obviously not twins. She's old and this is a baby.
Well, she kind of consumed her twin, but her twin survived. There's a whole backstory. So that's a thing.
She's terrifying.
She's absolutely terrifying. Thought it couldn't get any worse, and then they brought Pinhead to DVD. So that's also another delightful surprise that I absolutely just hate. But yeah, I've been playing Dead by Daylight, some Cake Bash, and also Tools Up by the same people who made Overcooked. Not on Stadia, but still a lot of fun. And I actually finished that game. I need to get the chapters off of it now. It is a essentially game. You get a house and you have to paint the walls, redo floors, deal with a dog that pushes you over because he is a murderous little fiend, and it's really cute. Also, there's an otter character that you can be, which I did not play the otter, shockingly. I played a
I'm
witch.
very surprised and sad that you didn't play the otter.
Lucas did. Lucas played the
Okay.
otter. So to
Rude.
avoid confusion,
Rude.
aka me, I couldn't do it. But yeah,
I'm disappointed in you.
I'm sorry. Also, I tried. Going back to DBD quickly, I tried the cross progression with PC because it was on sale on Steam, and I wanted to try it out to kind of see the comparisons. Gonna be honest, it runs a little bit better on PC than it does on Stadia on PC, but on the TV, it looks phenomenal. So
Nice.
now I can just play it wherever. Also, you get double bonuses, which is great because for Halloween spooky season, you get like 666,666 blood points.
Nice.
And you also get it on PC if you have cross progression. So
Not bad.
bonus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the thing with Dead by Daylight on Stadia, I see just because it's so dark is the macro blocking. Like if you're not looking on like a really nice screen that was like a 4K screen,
Yeah.
you do get macro blocking a bit. It is a little tough to see things at times. So that's just cloud gaming thing, not a.
So Fiona, you running controller when you play on the TV, or are you hooking up mouse and keyboard?
I play controller on my TV, and what's even worse is I'm so used to playing on my Stadia controller. I'm trying to figure out how to do it when I'm on my computer playing on Steam.
There's probably some workarounds, but there's no like easy way. I know that much.
I tried it on my side, it did not work. It responds when I'm in the big Steam menu or the big screen menu or big view menu.
They've rebranded that whole.
I'm going through all the names.
It was big picture mode.
Yeah. So I tried that, did not work for me. Worked instantly for Frank. Kestrel 1A. He plugged it in, worked like a dream for him. Does not work for me, so he is going to be helping me try to figure that out because I'm not particularly sure why it's not working for me. But yeah, I'm used to playing keyboard and mouse, but for the majority of the time, I just want to use my Stadia controller. And I have an Xbox controller for my Steam, but honestly, like I love the Stadia controller so much. And this isn't just me hyping up Stadia. Well, a little bit, but at the same time, I just find that controller so much more comfortable that I just want to be able to continue using that controller.
No. Real talk. I like going back to the DS4. I'm not the PS5. It's so weird now that I use Stadia. I play so much Stadia that it's like it just feels so much nicer in my hands than the DS4. Yeah. It's weird. It's a weird thing because DS4, like PlayStation, has been like my bread and butter. And I think it's just the combination of the parallel sticks, not, and then just the feel of the controller just feels nicer to me. So no, it's I agree.
What about you, Mr. Porter? You traveled a little bit this last week.
Time
to maybe try some Stadia for 10 minutes here and there.
I did not play Stadia nearly as much as I wanted to because I worked 55 hours both of the last 2 weeks.
Jeez, that's too many hours.
Hours. And I was traveling a lot, so I'll have some downtime, and I ended up never having downtime, like even in the airport or whatnot. So first thing I want to do is take you to task about the fact your Kind of Funny logo is not on, and there's still after a whole month no speaking of Stadia back. So just want to bring that up. Just kind of.
Shots called out in 4K. Oh my goodness.
So I did play
some coming from the fact that you have no time to play video games, so you bring nothing.
This is all my frustration. You have all this free time, and now you can't even do that. No, I played a bunch of. Is it on remote or is it not working?
It's on remote, but it doesn't want to turn on. There it is.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
All right.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
It's just a nice contrast it gives to you. So
I know.
Perfect. But sorry, back to what I was playing. I didn't play a lot of variety of Stadia, which I was kind of bummed about. I really just played a lot of Young Souls. I actually played a bit in some different situations, like where at the hotel on the Wi-Fi there, which was not great for the free Wi-Fi. I was like maybe 10 down. And there are some stutters. Actually, my coworker is also a Stadia guy too.
Oh, nice.
So he actually was I gave him he didn't prefer to bring a controller because he says such bad experiences when he traveled like last time. So I gave I brought my DS4 as well in case I wanted to play like Hades or something as well by extra time. So I gave him my other controller and he got to play some FIFA and said, he had similar issues to me on the Wi-Fi where it was a little stuttery here and there, but otherwise it ran fine. It just would drop a frame or two like once in a while.
Does your coworker listen to the show?
He used to a little bit, but I'm not sure how much he listens to it. I'll let him know we talked about him.
I mean, I may not have my signs on, but at least I promote our show.
I know he's aware of the podcast. I do tell him, like he knows. We talk about Stadia all the time. So
Fee is so uncomfortable, and I am here for it.
But then, but I also went out to a brewery. I'll let you finish.
Just continue. I'm just trying to tweet out that we're live, guys. I'm just like listening to this all go down. I'm like,
oh, don't worry. I did that. I tweeted out that we were live during your thing as well. So I forgot. I was so behind on that. I kept forgetting to do it because Aaron couldn't figure out our login information.
I don't know our password, and I mean, when it's my turn, I'll talk about why I needed a password, but it's all right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I did play a little bit of Young Souls as well when I was actually at a brewery, which was fun via 4G because I don't have a 5G phone. It worked great, honestly, like seamless. It was awesome. It was really fun. I sat there, had my beers, was drinking some beer and eating some food. Some great. It was an awesome brewery, honestly. It's like really open, like kind of like thing. They had some sours, they had some stouts, they had some IPAs, got a little bit of everything. It's good.
Nice. In Arizona?
Yeah, in Arizona. Yeah. So yeah, I flew to Arizona for work for doing some tunnel inspections out there, and actually had a buddy out there, so I hung out with him a bit. We were gonna play some Stadia, but then that's where I had to be in the field at 10 p.m. and I just ended up chilling and relaxing beforehand. I was gonna try to nap, but didn't. And actually, I ended up working out well because I got done at like 9 o'clock. But besides the point, so Young Souls ran great. I'm loving that game, by the way. I'm like 9-10 hours in, and it's like really like a dungeon crawl side scroller. It's actually really tough.
Beat 'em up, right? Kind of a brawler.
It's a beat 'em up, but it's tough. It's not like a simple like it's not Castle Crashers or like where you're just mowing through guys. Like it's tough. I die a lot. Like you have each character. If you play single player, you can hot swap between the characters, and they can actually heal some health. They have like a darker yellow meter in their health where they can regenerate if they're in your if they're off to the side. But I die all the time to bosses. Like you really need to have your parry timing up well to do because that stuns them, and it's a tough game, but it's getting really cool. You're getting some cool abilities like this grapple hook now I just got, which is really fun. So I can bring guys to me or whatnot. But
I saw a tip on that game that might help you. I think it just said get good.
Okay, cool. Great tip. Thank you.
I'm only saying this stuff to watch Fee's reactions. Canadians in confrontation go together like maple syrup and asparagus. You know what I mean?
That sounds delicious, actually.
I sat here for so long trying to think of anything that doesn't go with maple syrup. I don't know why I landed on asparagus, but what doesn't it go with?
Honestly, you can put asparagus and maple syrup together. You just candy it. You just have to cook it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. You just candy it. Like that'd be good.
Fee and confrontation go together like maple syrup and curdled milk.
There you go. That's better.
Because nothing's gonna fix curdled milk.
That's disgusting.
I did also play a little bit of Control.
Oh, nice. How's that running?
I runs so much better than my experience with Luna. That's why I wanted to try it out a little bit.
Nice.
I do actually want to go into Control on Stadia and play through it a bit. Play through the whole game. Honestly, I want to do that, but I just got to where I kind of ended before, and it ran great, seamless. And then I actually it's on sale right now, and it's in the first thing with new released games. But Child of Light released on Stadia, and it's like $450 right now. So I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm buying that game. So I bought Child of Light. It looks great, really beautiful artwork. It's an older game, but fun stuff.
Very nice.
And other than that, I really haven't had any time for many other games. Just played a little bit of board games on BGA, a little bit here and there. Played a lot of disc golf when I was in Arizona. That was lots of fun.
Yeah.
You've been on a disc golf tear lately.
Yeah, I played 3 straight days of disc golf. It was awesome. I'm not sure my wife is ready for my hype. My buddy is now he literally texted me right before we started saying, I'm out at the field practicing my backhand. The videos really help. He's been addicted to watching YouTube videos on disc golf. He's he's in it now. I feel so bad because I gave him this curse and then left him. So yes,
that's the worst because now who is he going to play with?
Exactly. So I feel bad.
That's so mean.
Make friends, or he had played one other time on a date that didn't continue being more dates. So he'll find someone.
The old one and done, huh?
Yeah, it's actually two dates, but
Oh, okay.
There
I
you
feel like she was
go.
on her phone way too much, so he's like, no.
Could have been playing Stadia.
I know,
It's
could
not
play Stadia
2021
instead.
up in here.
But yeah, that's all I got. What do you, Aaron? I know you've been playing this new game that really probably could run and should run on Stadia, but for some reason isn't on Stadia. Can you
Weird.
tell me a little bit about that Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, I've been playing that there. Guardians of the Galaxy, the last came out on Tuesday, so 3
Playing on
days.
PS5 or
PS5, yep. It is so much fun. I totally agree. It seems like it'd be perfect for Stadia. It would run great.
Well,
I don't see anything.
and it's on. I think
on it.
I think it's on Switch's streaming service, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure
Yes.
Switch. So like,
Switch
there's no reason
can
why it
stream
couldn't
it.
just be. And it's not like this, like the studio, like the publisher doesn't really publish games on Stadia that also happen to be Marvel games actually. So it's
Right.
like, I don't know, like
It was a
why this
weird
is impossible.
decision
Like,
to not
really,
bring this one to Stadia.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic. The characters are awesome. The style, it has so much freaking style and character to that game. Absolutely love it. It definitely feels like they're pulling off the Marvel movies more than anything, but that's fine. I feel totally comfortable with it.
Have you read much Guardians? Have you read much Guardians comics or no?
No, I did.
I read like one run of it. That was about it.
Circa like 2010.
Oh, so.
I got really into a run of Guardians when they were like doing a lot with Adam Warlock that I thought was really cool.
Gotcha.
But no, I haven't read a ton. But these characters are great. It's really, really fun. The combat is not in depth by any means, but varied enough for me. Like as you unlock your kind of squad's abilities and you can start like figuring out their different combos, it makes it a lot of fun. But just the straightforward gameplay and combat it's so easy to grasp, which I actually really appreciate.
Good.
So yeah, been loving that. And then me and the kiddo are almost done with Metroid Dread on a run.
Okay, because that's a pretty short game. I've heard. I heard it can do it in like 8, 9, 10 hours. Like
yeah, most people that I've seen like on Twitter posting it is anywhere from 7 to 10 hours. We're just bad, so I think we're like 12 hours in trying to figure out where to go.
The kid's what, 10 years old? I mean,
yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, he's better than me. He beat the first boss when I couldn't. He's like, no, here, let me show you.
Oh, I mean, Grime, it took you. You said it took you like a dozen times. It took me like 2 times. So I mean, yeah, I mean, you're not.
I'm not. Now these are not my games. Nope, side-scrollers are not for me. I'm great at Guardians. That's just fine. Third-person action adventure all day.
Yeah.
Side-scrollers I struggle with. But I took down the second boss when he couldn't, so I'm kind of still.
There you go. Give
it those gamer points.
Yeah, but this isn't a show about PlayStation 5 games. This is a show about Stadia, and I did get the brand new. Come on, focus. Pixel 6 Pro today.
Look at that. Just look at Fuse.
By golly,
Fuse's envy. The envy
glorious. Fee, I want you to notice that I went with the white that you're desiring. And just how pretty it is.
Thank you.
The white is probably the best of the Pro colors. I don't mind the yellow, but it's not like my favorite.
I don't know. Like whenever I think of like yellow, at least the yellow that they chose, it's almost as if you take like the white phone and you leave it out in the sun for a while. You know, when you have like a white like electronic and you leave it in a specific area, they kind of have like that yellow tinge after a while. That kind of had the vibe to me. I love yellow. Don't get me wrong.
No case. And yeah, they put like kind of an off-white.
Did you buy the clear case that like the Google clear case?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's because
that's what I have on mine, but
I love the camera bar for what it does, and I don't mind the aesthetic. I just don't like how far it sticks out, and I don't want my phone to not sit flat. So that's why I went with the case, because then it makes it nice and flush.
See, the only reason I would use a case with that one is because curved screens scare me because there's no good screen protector for a curved screen. They all suck. Yeah. So that's the only reason why I would do that. So real quick shout out our people. Yeah, Frank.
Hey, Frank.
We got old Phil Harrison here singing to Stadia.
Oh, damn.
And nice. Question for you. How does it run? How's the phone?
Oh, it's so good. And that was going to lead me to my next point was after I got everything kind of set up, I had some time to kill while I was waiting on somebody to, finish the doc. I'm not going to name names. Fiona. So I ran Stadia just to see how it did. I played a little bit of Grime and then I swapped over to Cyberpunk. And man, like ran awesome. The resolution on the screen is beautiful. Cyberpunk looked absolutely stunning on it.
Nice.
It's still like slightly too big for the Kishi, which is a bummer, but that's more of a Kishi problem at this point. They probably just need to figure out how to adapt to this.
I mean, it's a big boy
world.
It's a big boy.
Yeah. Phone. Which like the Samsung S21, which is what I was coming from. It's a
taller phone though, right?
Inch. Yeah. It's like 0.1 inch larger basically. And that one, like the Kishi pops off. Like if you have to hold it a very specific way, if you want to use the Kishi on that thing, this one actually does. You're actually able to kind of like snug it on both sides.
But
it's just like slightly crooked. And that's because the controller kind of gets caught on this lip right here for the freaking camera. So, but I don't know. Otherwise, very, very happy with how it was running and performing and mostly how it looked. Some of the reviews for the phone came out and they said that the 120 hertz refresh rate actually struggled on mobile gaming. It didn't dip for me at all when I was playing.
I mean, your Stadia is probably only running at 60 frames at most,
right?
So
how is it? Continue.
Oh no, just that it didn't stutter at all. It looked great, felt great, played great.
Awesome. I was just gonna ask, how does it compare to the Samsung 21?
I'm gonna put it through its paces tomorrow. I'm taking my kiddo to Denver to go on a few adventure-y things, and I'm gonna really push the camera. That's one thing the S21 I thought surprised me more than anything is I've been such a Pixel fanboy because of the camera. Gotcha. And the S21 is fantastic.
I mean, they're all very comparable cameras now between them and Apple. iPhone 13 and this, and they're all very
probably the coolest thing though on Samsung that no other phone is doing is this thing called single take, where you can just move your camera around and it does a 10-second video and then it just nabs all the best photos out of it, and it'll even like stylize some of them for you. So kids and pets, holy crap.
But can you delete people from the images?
No, but I was showing you want to see a little demo real quick?
It was so cool.
This is now
I was running very late today. I literally popped on like a minute before we were supposed to start. So
this is just a photo of my street. Sorry, audio listeners. Focus for me. There we go. I gotta get out of the ring light here. Okay. So it's not gonna do it now.
You should delete your house.
Maybe it's I did delete my house. I don't know why it's not doing it. I was showing Fee earlier. If you hold down the photo,
just trace around it and just.
Well, yeah, but it'll let
auto detect things. It'll auto detect things, but you also just like. Boop.
Well, yeah, but what I was showing Fee was earlier, anyways. When you hold down the photo, it brings that thing back, so you can see the original versus what you erased. The light pole sticking up in the sky.
Oh, yeah.
Jakey, do you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
See that light pole?
You broke up a little bit there, just FYI. You're getting a little macro blocked.
Now it's gone.
Nice.
It works really well. I was very impressed.
That'd be really cool for like nature shots to try. That'd be really cool for nature shots to take out like power lines and stuff like that. It'd be really nice.
Yeah, one person that they were showing a demo of it, they had like taken a picture out of their car window of like a landscape, but just a little bit of their car was cutting the corner, and they just erased that in the foreground, and it worked great. So.
That's one of the things where like certain times like you'll notice if you're looking for it, but I feel like if anyone just looked at the photo, they probably wouldn't notice a lot of this stuff. Like it's good for certain things, but still like it's better than nothing. Just real quick, you're already bringing him in.
I was on it.
Yeah,
Monkey Boy says I love Stadia on my phone. 300 hours logged.
What?
Playing over 4G LTE on T-Mobile.
It's great. I've actually had no issues on 4G anytime I've used it, even in a hospital when I was using it one time. And then on the Pixel 4 485G.
Nice.
So were you really on 4G LTE or were you on 5G?
I'm on 5G.
We'll never know. We'll never know.
You're talking to them, not me.
Yeah, him. You're on 5G though, right?
Yes. And the new Android, by the way, the new Android update that rolled out with the Pixel, like with the new widgets and stuff. Love it. It's really nice. Cool. Really slick. I love the menu options.
As much as I love the Pixel, I mean, great, it's a Google product, but we're not a Google podcast. We are a Stadia podcast. So
that's right. So let's get to it.
25 minutes in, we're getting to our first
25 minutes, and here we are. let's talk about the fact that right now we are a far cry from a slow release month. Let's talk about new releases. That was just for you, Fee.
Fiona made a really they're all for Fee. They're all for Fee.
Oh man. Fiona made a really terrible pun before this podcast about meta.
I thought you would appreciate it.
Oh, I loved it, but that means you kick-started what was to happen now.
Son of a gun.
I'll roll through all the titles of the games really quick of what recently came out on Stadia, and then we can run down and talk to them. In order of newest to oldest, we have Far Cry 6, Falconer, Riders Republic, Addams Family, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, Ben 10 and Peppa Pig, Child of Light, and Heist Simulator. Ben 10 and Peppa Pig, it's important to note, not one title.
Oh. Yeah, it was one article.
It was just one line. It's fine. It's fine, Fee. It's fine. Nobody thought it was one.
Oh, you're bringing it up. Okay, I was gonna.
So yeah, Mafia. Well, we'll get to that in a minute, but a lot of games came out recently to the old Stadia. Jake, let's start with you. What are you most excited about? And is there anything on here that you're just like?
Well, I already buried the lead on this one. I bought Child of Light because it was on sale for $5. That game is absolutely beautiful. It's a game I've wanted to play for a while. It actually was free with Uplay at one point. I missed out on it, but I heard only great things about the game. The art style is absolutely stunning. That's what I'm most excited for. I missed out on and I didn't bring the article in because it's already gone and done. Riders Republic actually did a trial last week, and I was just so busy, and I kind of forgot that the game was coming out this weekend.
Yeah, I totally
missed. I completely missed on playing the trial. But I've heard good things about that game. That looks fun. I'm hoping to see more of that, and maybe if I dip that back into Uplay Plus, maybe I'll give that one a try. Other than that, I'm interested in DBZ Kakarot. I heard mixed things about the game when it came out, but I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan as a 90s kid that grew up with Dragon Ball Z as my lifeblood. So
let me say this about Dragon Ball Z, because I did play when it first came out. It's a really fun way to relive that series. A lot of it is just fantastic. It gets tiring though after the first couple sagas. Like it does start to feel.
I mean, just like the show, exactly. Okay,
right, exactly. Yes, you are not wrong.
Like, give me the Kai cut where they skip all the filler and all.
Yes. Fiona, anything on the list that sticks out to you that you just can't wait to dive into?
Honestly, Falconer. It's been a game that I've been really looking into. I've been interested in. I think they showed a little bit at E3, a little bit. And I was just this kind of goes hand in hand with a few other bird related games that we've been seeing over the past year or so. Obviously, of course, I can't think of them off the top of my head, but I know that we've seen some of them in indie showcases. So I've been really interested to actually jump into the Falconer. And so knowing that it's on Stadia, I'll definitely try that out, because then I can play it on my TV easily instead of having to drag around my computer.
I wonder if it's on sale. I thought Ubisoft was doing a sale in general right now. So
if it's on sale,
is that Ubisoft? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
I think I'm just conflating the art style with Ubisoft.
I mean, it does kind of have that vibe. They are it's by Wired Productions, which is a smaller group, but it might be associated. Let's see here.
I'm looking up now. It is not. I don't think
well, either way, I'll definitely this. Out of the list, that's probably the one that really stuck out to me when I was reading through the list. My sister's been really obsessed with Far Cry 6. I actually got it for her birthday. I pre-ordered it for her birthday. She ended up not getting it on Stadia, but she's been obsessing over it. So she's been really happy and excited. She even stayed up super late for it. So I might just get Far Cry 6 just to try it out as well.
I mean, you can play co-op with her too.
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons why I would do it, is just to play co-op with her, because she's not the biggest. There are certain games that she'll try out, but I think Far Cry has just been a series that she's obsessed with, so I'll definitely try it out.
That's the one that sticks out to me the most. I really do want to give Far Cry 6 a shot and see what I think. And that game series is one that I always jump into and never stick with, unfortunately. I kind of get tired out after 30-35 hours a night, because I get distracted running.
That's Fallout for me too.
Yeah.
Fallout, I haven't finished a Fallout game, but it's a good jam for 30 hours of just running around. It's a fun world, and then you get
But this one, man, Giancarlo Esposito, like, come on, what a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
So him being the villain basically sold me Alone.
Yeah.
And then first female protagonist. That's pretty dope.
I didn't realize. Oh, so you actually are his kid then? I guess, or I didn't realize you were a female protagonist in the game.
You are.
And all the people talking about it is the one thing they have never heard them actually talk about. That's good. That's cool. That's good. I like that.
Honestly, that's the first time I've heard about it, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I listened to like a decent amount of gaming podcasts. They talk about a lot about the game, but not that you're a female protagonist. So cool.
That's wild.
I just did a random FYI. Like everything Dead by Daylight's on sale, and the Ubisoft's on sale stuff, and then I think Resident Evil is also on sale. So just anyone looking for, I didn't put the article in there, but a few sales going on. Check them out.
Yeah. Also, side note for people who are interested in DBD, make sure to get your Stranger Things packs before the
yes,
in November, because they are going to be removed completely off of the store. The map is being removed as well, so you will no longer be able to go to the Hawkins laboratory. You can, but you still have access to the Demogorgon and the 2 survivors. It's just a matter of you can't buy them or any of their sets after, I think it's November 3rd is when they're taking off everything, which is kind of crazy. So just make sure that you buy them up now, especially if they're on sale.
I missed them on the last sale. When we talked about it, I went a week, I'm like, oh, they're gone now. So I thought they were gone forever. So I'll have to buy that. Oh, and just a clarification, Frank, your boy Frank, he said, I think you can choose a male or female, but even still having the option is really cool. I mean, in general, Ubisoft has been good about adding the options for a character. Like, I mean, going back to Odyssey, they've been good about adding choice. So
then what I must have heard was that this is the first time in Far Cry that you can be a female protagonist.
Okay, then yeah, that's
but this is a first for the Far Cry series. You've been a dude in every single one, so
yeah. The only one I played a Far Cry is Far Cry 3, where he plays Jason, which is a great game. That was the first one that Ubisoft actually made, because I mean they bought it after 2. They bought the series from someone else. I'm pretty sure.
I enjoyed the hell out of 5. I didn't end up finishing it, but like I liked the setting and the villain and the like defunct church cult. Like that was totally cool with me. And I liked Montana. It was really pretty. Yeah. And then Far Cry 4, the only thing I can ever remember about that game is that they put in that little I don't want to call it an Easter egg, but at the very beginning, when you meet the villain and you sit at his dinner table, if you just keep sitting there, eventually the villain comes back and he's just like, cool, so we're wrapped up. And then the credits roll and you beat the game.
Yeah, that is a cool. I remember that.
Yeah. That's all I really remember about that one. And then they took that app and repurposed it for the caveman game.
For Primal.
Yeah. So that's what's out right now. You can go play any of those games that we mentioned. If you do play any of those games, leave a comment below. Tell us which one was your favorite. If you do play Kakarot, please tell me if it's better, because I'd probably jump back in. That would get me back in, I think. But that was what's Far Cry from slow release month. Is it getting colder in Canada, Fee?
It sure is, Aaron.
That's because winter is coming, and so are these games. Let's talk about the games.
It's very cold today, actually.
It's cold.
It dropped to 40 degrees here, like overnight.
Oh, really?
We had a nor'easter come through, and then just the temperatures dropped.
So. Yeah, it's 40 right now.
Shittiest weather we are supposed to have since summer is Halloween night, when I take my kid trick-or-treating outside.
Woo!
Bring out the beer wagon.
You have that
except for
Twitter.
Go
what?
Ahead. You go.
I said,
who goes
on your Twitter? You're leaving us hanging.
What?
You said on my Twitter.
No, I said at least you have that All Might sweater.
Oh, All Might sweater. I heard on my Twitter. I was like, and go on. Yesterday it was not cold, but it was windy as hell. And I should show you guys this as soon as it focuses. For audio listeners, I'm sorry. This is a very visual podcast tonight. That is my fence missing. The wind literally just ripped out an entire section of my fence yesterday in my backyard.
Bye-bye.
That's how windy it got in Colorado. So it's the worst. Anyways, so winter is coming, but more importantly, so are these games. Let's start with Fire Commander confirmed for Stadia. Every single one of these games,
and for 2022
over at Stadia Source, and for 2022 coming up soon.
Yeah.
Ever wondered what it would feel like to virtually control your own group of firefighters and also manage your own fire station? I'm not going to lie, I have not, but other people have. Well, very soon you'll be able to do just that, as the firefighting RTS title Fire Commander has been confirmed as coming to Stadia in 2022. It'll see you tactically command your own fire unit across 30 plus exciting missions, extinguishing fires, toxic spills, saving lives. You and your firefighting team will need to do it all.
I saw some pictures of this game. I thought it was like a twin stick shooter. I didn't realize it was an RTS. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, it sounds like an interesting concept. A buddy of mine's a firefighter. He'd probably like it.
That's cool. The quick and dirty bullet point features of the game, different classes of firefighters, 30 plus thrilling missions, experience system with unlockable skills, numerous rescue vehicles, and a growing fire station, story and side missions, and an enemy you cannot outpower, only outsmart.
I mean, I think the whole state of California would agree about fire as an enemy.
Cold. Well, hot, I guess, but
it's interesting to see that we're getting another firefighter game, because we already have Ember, which I know it has like a little bit of a cartoony feel to it, but just
definitely like yeah,
adding more.
Do you not want?
Are you against firefighters? What are you trying to say, Fee?
No, yes, I'm not against
anti-firefighter.
No, if I learned anything from the recent Halloween Kills reaction, where people are trying to like get an entire scene changed in that movie, like I am not going after firefighters whatsoever. Oh yeah, there's there's like
jokes on them. I punch my fires out. Just brute force that son of a bitch.
As someone who's seen him with his freaking flamethrower of oh my gosh, he has this like, oh god, why can I not think of words today? My abilities to like speak right now are gone. A lighter that just like shoots up past his camera, and it's like absolutely crazy, and he just goes like this. He's just like, whoa,
it's
and
like
we're
a
like,
lightsaber.
What the why does this even exist? And it burns his hand every time he uses it, so I don't understand.
He doesn't let the button up when he wants to put it out. He just punches it.
because he looks cool using it.
Wow, I didn't think of that. Thank you.
Well, hopefully Frank doesn't die. I don't know why fire, but if he does, he can come back as a zombie in World War Z Aftermath. Coming to Stadia this winter. You're welcome for that. Today's Stadia community blog has confirmed that the zombie shooter World War Z Aftermath will launch on Google Stadia this winter, and the game will feature full crossplay with other platforms. Yeah, a couple of quick features. New stories from A World at War. You can take back Vatican City in an epic confrontation in Rome. Right on. Next generation of the zombie swarm endure endless waves of increasingly difficult zombies in the new Horde Mode XL game mode, featuring hundreds more zombies on screen than ever before possible. Horde Mode XL will arrive in a free post-launch update on Stadia. Deep progression and a new perspective, and free booster zombie update introduces the new booster zombie type, adding more terror to the battlefield. Did you guys play World War Z Aftermath on any other platform?
No.
No, but I've heard like good things about this game. It's like very much like Back 4 Blood's of course out right now, but it's very much like a Left 4 Dead style game, like co-op zombie shooter. But I've heard it ran and played really well when it came out. It was very well reviewed, so
nice.
It's pretty cool. Wish you kind of dropped.
I'm not mad about it, but you know what I am mad about? Our next game, Mad Streets. I got these jokes.
This game looks goofy.
Guys. This game looks wild. When I saw this backyard brawler where they're like throwing soccer balls at each other and stuff, it's great. Mad Streets is a hilarious physics-based beat-em-up party game that lets you pick a side and brawl it out alone or with up to 4 friends, local or online. Welcome to Gutsford University, home of some of the toughest students in town. Will it be the jocks or the punks who run the town? Or perhaps the privileged rich kids? Probably, because money is power. Choose your fighter and settle some scores in this unique feeling physics party game. Let's be honest, the rich kids will win because they'll hire somebody else to do it.
I hope they add that as a theme into some of the characters.
You just pay people off.
You just have a bouncer walking around them constantly.
Their special mode, they pull out a phone and speed dial dad.
That's their ultimate.
The features are Mad Rush mode, build a team and run through a series of fights and objectives where you can unlock each faction story. In solo mode, recruit 3 AI companions to Mad Rush your way to the top. Randomize your matches, rumble mode, one punch. Exactly what it sounds like. One punch, one winner. That sounds awesome. Just sprinting at each other and seeing who can get the first hit. Enter the stadium, a collection of all the different game objectives and special fights, allowing you to settle the score on any objectives you didn't succeed in. Then the old smash and grab, and then grab your fists and your friends. What does this do for you guys? You guys want to play this?
Stadia? Enter the stadium or enter the Stadia?
I like enter the Stadia way more. Bad marketing.
Bad Stadia is, yeah, I know. Like Stadia wrote that freaking blog, that post. Like, edit that.
Right. Stadia, get crazy with it.
Stadia is just the plural.
Fee, you gonna play this game?
You know what? No, probably not. I'm gonna be honest.
What if it goes to pro?
If it goes to pro, I'll try it out. Absolutely.
Because that's a pro ass looking game if I've ever seen one.
Oh no, absolutely. It looks like something that like I would see like it being released, then being like, guess what? This month, brand new game comes out. Here's a pro game.
It's gonna launch on pro. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's 100%.
This is a launch on pro game. For sure.
It's definitely something like it looks really like fun to play with, like obviously people that you know.
It's a game beast kind of like that kind of like.
That's exactly what I think of. It seems like I want my friends to come over like when we play Gang Beasts. That's exactly what it reminds me of.
Or like, well, you played Cake Bash recently, right?
Yes.
Like that kind of fun, like chaotic fun.
Exactly. If I am able to pick up that plate full of hot dogs and just start pelting hot dogs at people, yeah, absolutely. You bet that this is going to be my game of the year if I can just throw hot dogs at people's heads, because that just seems like it just looks it. I like the art style. It definitely has a little bit more of a cartoony feel to it.
Definitely needs a little bit more polish though. It definitely has like an unpolished look to it. But again, I like the art style, but it definitely has an unpolished feel to it.
Yeah, it almost has like. Oh, continue.
No, which is understandable because it looks very indie.
Yeah, the body, like at least the body shaping, or like at least the way that they have everyone's proportions, it almost has like a Knockout City kind of feel to it, because some of the characters.
Yeah, good call.
And so I'm just even the way that he's throwing the soccer ball right now, it kind of just reminds me of like literally Knockout City. So I'm really interested to see how it goes. I can see a lot of fun streams of this happening where people are just running around throwing just random items at people. But I also want to see how many things off that table I could pick up and throw up to everyone. You know what I mean?
I better be able to throw a hot dog.
I should be able to pick up that entire table and hit someone with it. If I can't, I'm out of it.
0 out of 10 right there. You heard it here first.
0 out of 10.
If I can't throw a picnic table at somebody's head, what's even the point?
What's the point of this game at that point?
If I can't pelt someone with an entire house, like really,
yeah.
What am I even doing here?
If I can't pull that entire fencing and just smack someone and take their...
I mean, Aaron's doing that right now, apparently, in his backyard, from what we saw.
The wind is.
Oh, geez,
the wind already got a head start.
I wish it was a backyard brawl that took down my fence. Nah, it was just a windy day.
Yeah.
The last game we have is Monopoly Madness.
The game we've all been waiting for.
Oh my gosh, which it's not even traditional Monopoly. In Monopoly Madness, players will compete to buy and upgrade properties in Monopoly City while Mr. Monopoly is away on his well-earned vacation. All right. They will face up to 5 other players in shorter rounds that are frantic. Real-time race on the chaotic streets of Monopoly City without the boundaries of the board. Players will need to collect money and other resources around the map in order to buy and upgrade their properties. The more properties the player owns, the more points they'll earn, bringing them closer to the finish line into the race to riches. What do you guys think about this? It sounds like it's like I don't know. It sounds crazy.
I don't even know what this game is, but I want to give a little tidbit of trivia. Do you guys know what actual city Monopoly City is?
Chicago.
Or is based on? No.
New York.
Atlantic City, New Jersey. Is based the original board is based on all the street names, and some of the railroads. Some of the railroads are made up. Are actually actual streets or railroads that used to go through Atlantic City, New Jersey. So
Interesting.
Look at these people just.
The more you
Is that
know.
Macho Man Randy Savage in that trailer?
I guess. I
Well,
like the
it's-
penguin.
Look at this little Scotty
and
dog.
It's a little,
The little
puppy.
Westie, yeah.
What, is this Astrobot?
Nope. Do not pass go. He's getting put in jail.
So it's just like a. I'm so confused. What is like? I guess you're just going around collecting stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
is there any
And
like
then you
combat? Can you like mess with other people, or is it just like you?
Yeah, it looked like somebody just grabbed
I
a
would
bulldozer
assume
and took out
so.
somebody else's house.
Okay, interesting. I don't know.
This game
Monopoly's
comes out
not a
December
very good board
9th,
game.
and the Speaking of Stadia crew will be streaming it, I've decided.
Here's the thing: as long as it runs better than the Monopoly game that they currently already have, I don't think I've experienced so much rage before than trying to get Monopoly Online to work through Ubisoft. We tried one night and
it on
everyone
Stadia?
got a refund. We like all bought it on Steam and we all requested a refund after an hour and a half.
Well,
Because
yeah,
it-
you're within your rights at that point.
It was it didn't work for anybody. Frank kept on like getting glitched out. Someone constantly was getting skipped over in different tiles, and then I don't know if it may have been the fact that I chose the UK version. So if you choose UK, like, or at least if you go through the
You don't
languages
live in
and you
the
choose the
UK.
UK, well, I use you. Oh my goodness.
Oh, is it only because you like the color and the favorites and that stuff?
Yes.
Is that
So
why?
color is with a U and
I know.
et cetera, et cetera. So when I did that, they put all the actual street names into British street names. So all of them were different than everyone else that was playing when we were like going through the game.
So you just borked the whole thing.
I don't know if I borked the whole thing. And then I changed it and it still wasn't working. And then I got kicked out. And then half of the game, I thought I wasn't even there. And so I was moving as like an empty tile. And we were just like, all of us were like, this is,
But Fee, most importantly, what piece were you?
it was the dog.
Okay, that's the second best one.
It's good.
No, but it's
Oh.
it's specifically the dog in the hat is you gotta put the dog in the hat. And that's
Oh.
the piece. That's the best part.
Oh.
I chose
The
a
car
thimble
was
and a
always-
The
dog.
thimble is number one. Thimble is number one. Okay.
Thimble.
Mine was always the car. That was my jam. I liked the car.
No,
No.
car and then dog in hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I have different versions of Monopoly. It's definitely, as someone who plays board games regularly, Monopoly is
Not a good board game.
I still
It's
just
not
like
a
that
good
you had
board game.
different road names. Like you're just like, oi, I'll buy Abbey Road. And they're like, we don't have Abbey Road, Fee. It's right here.
You mean
exactly what
Marvin
happened
Gardens?
too.
What are you talking about?
I was just saying a street name and they're like, excuse me, and I'm like, where I am right now, and they're like, Fee, just use the American name, and I'm like, no, governor.
No, governor.
Also, another fun fact: it's not Marvin Gardens; it's actually Marling Gardens, but they changed it in the board game.
Oh.
The actual street name, same in real life. So,
Yeah, well, in London they call it John Lennon Avenue.
And this is when everyone, our UK viewers, it's like, we're out.
We're done. I'm over this.
that's like half our our fan base at this point with all the cities.
I'm-
sources.
God,
We're so
Dan's
sorry,
gonna listen to
guys.
this later, just shaking his head.
Oh my god!
I take zero responsibility.
You literally started the conversation.
I'm just saying that I use the proper like spellings for certain words. So
Oh yeah, you put a U in everything. Congratulations. Way to make it harder to spell things.
it's okay. My phone tries to spell check me when I spell it out that way too.
Yeah, what's your favorite color?
It's color.
Do you? Well, I was gonna say, you guys don't use this one, but the actual UK use aluminium, which is garbage. And
Yeah,
I
we don't
hate it.
use
That's the best
aluminium.
word.
You're-
That's the best
that's
word.
No.
Aluminium.
I literally watched
It's
a
so
whole
perfect.
documentary in biology. I was like, what the f are they talking about? What is this? like-
Aluminium.
I had no.
Aluminium.
I literally had no idea what the word they were saying was. Like,
You know, at the end of a meal, you're done. You want to wrap your leftovers in some aluminium.
just it
I
threw
put
me off so
tinfoil.
bad.
I just say tinfoil.
Yeah, I say
Yeah,
tinfoil. too,
aluminium
so it's very-
tinfoil. Oh, moving on.
Tin
to
is a
the
tin is a
next
compound
story.
with has aluminum in it. God.
We know the Mafia has always been shady, but now they're just dropping Mafia 3 from the shadows.
Why do I give you permission to do these?
I don't know.
I will never understand. Stadia pulled one of the craziest things that we've seen. This game has been earmarked by the ESRB since March of 2020. And here we are, October 2021. They didn't just put Mafia 3 on Stadia. They made it pro. So you can just go claim this for free. And it's
a game I'm very excited about.
Yeah.
FYI.
And then apparently this had to replace Unto the End, so it had to whack Unto the End, as the article says.
Unto the End got pushed to December.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a game I actually was interested in playing too. So
I'd rather play Mafia.
Me too. Mafia, I heard amazing things about Mafia. So
yeah, I've never played Mafia 3, so I can't wait. Yeah. Fee, Mafia person? Yay, nay?
Here's the thing. I've never played a Mafia game, but since I have it available, I actually want to jump in and try it. Do I need to play Mafia 1 and 2?
No, I don't think
you
so.
like the Game of Thrones, right? Or not Game of Thrones, Grand Theft Auto.
Yes, I do enjoy I do enjoy Grand Theft Auto quite a bit.
This is like 60s Grand Theft Auto.
Okay, you could have just started off with you could have just started off with that.
But she likes Grand Theft Auto Online though, which is like not Grand Theft Auto at all.
Very different.
True.
Let's see who's chatting us about aluminium. Oh no.
Oh no, it's Frank. It's Frank talking about I the same thing, same time.
It's a secret Punisher game. I'm into that.
What? Okay. Really?
I've heard good things about it. I heard the setting is really cool in terms of like it's actually like deep south during like in like Louisiana area during like the 60s, which is like a dark
and your
time.
protagonist is black and like and cops will start getting nervous if you're just walking around them, like stuff like that.
My brother-in-law who is a black man, he loves this game. So like that just to put that out there, like he as a black man loves this game so much. So it definitely does. I think that as it does the era and whatnot justice and does a good job of handling that topic.
It sounds like they handled the source material in terms of just the time period and what was going on in the location very, very well. Go ahead, Fee.
No. I was just gonna say I just quickly brought up like Mafia 3 on YouTube, and shout out to IGN for making an entire movie with all the cutscenes. So they took all the cutscenes from the game. It is 2 hours and 43 minutes.
Wow.
If you want to watch all the cutscenes from Mafia 3, it's 2 hours and 47 minutes.
That's like one cutscene in Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah, that's like one cutscene from Final Fantasy 14.
That's half of the ending of Death Stranding's cutscene.
Oh wow.
Jeez,
I heard that is a long ending.
I really
like they really get like a popcorn warning. Like go get popcorn. Like start popping popcorn at this.
Well, that's what they like. Random side note. That's what they do in like when you're doing main story quests in Final Fantasy 14. They'll say like there is a very long cutscene happening. Please be prepared for an extensive time where you're going to be doing cutscene per cutscene, because sometimes they'll do like back to back. And so they'll say like just as like be prepared. You need to be prepared for this.
And that's when you get your print screen button ready.
It is true. And then you just hear like click.
That laugh.
That is my favorite. That is like one of my favorite clips of you, Fee, is that whole scene of you.
There is extensive video of me doing that. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, I admit it. Yeah, there's a lot of screenshots. I have a ton of them in my computer right now.
So we're making it for those that are obviously tuned into our personal chats. We were joking about the space available on the Pixel 6 and Fee wanting the higher one apparently.
256.
And I said a joke. She needs those extra gigabytes for all those screenshots. She needs to carry them with her wherever she goes. She doesn't use Google Photos. She ignores its existence. She wants them locally on her device. Full res raw photos of those.
It's true. I don't know. I can bring it out. Okay. This is what I currently have on my Stream Deck. Oh my god.
Is it just pictures of Hot Boys?
It's actually I can't. It's not working because my camera, obviously. So it's Amric. It's the guy I was taking photos of in that video that Frank decided to post on YouTube. Which is me just taking screenshots, and it's actually a really great video. He did a phenomenal job.
It was very funny. I got a good kick out of that video.
Oh, I did too. I was just like, I know what he's gonna do with this, and he's just like, "Do you mind if I just like take a little bit of your video from stream?" I'm like, "Sure." And then he comes up with that, and he's like, "Here you go." And I'm like, "Son of a bitch."
Make a thumbnail for this now.
Oh my god,
that's my life.
Oh, moving on to this next story.
Right. Outriders. So I derailed that one very heavily, but
Outriders, the Stadia outsider, no more.
Oh my
Jake,
goodness.
take it away.
This was. You're bringing it up. I wasn't sure. Yeah, it's. So I titled this in our doc as effing finally. Outriders came out in I think March or April. I can't remember exactly when that game came out. It was April. Okay. Since that game came out, like I remember Aaron was like, "Oh yeah, Outriders is doing great. They're patching. They're like really engaging with the community, posting about it." And it's like, "But Aaron, they haven't patched Stadia." It's like, wait, what? Like, are you sure? Like they've been talking about how they're patching this game all the time. You're sure they're not patching Stadia? Like, no, Aaron. Like it's still in the demo patch. Like it's a demo patch, literally. And you're like, no, I don't believe you.
I was playing on Xbox because it was on Xbox Game Pass, so
it still is.
They were doing great on Xbox.
Yeah, because they're getting a lot of people, and so yeah, that was a fun. Now what? 6 months later, we finally got a patch, and it's not like I'm not sure if it's actually fully patched because they said they're bringing it almost to parity, and it's going to be in parity like soon, like next week, I think. So I mean, the article's in front of us. I guess I can look at the article, but yeah, Outriders has been updated today. This update brings, oh my goodness, I actually clicked on the tweet. We are improving the Stadia crossplay experience. So crossplay between Stadia and other platforms will only go live with our November update. That's what that's what I thought. So it's at parity, I guess, now, but it's still not crossplay, which is like the big selling point for the game like this. So just absolutely dropping the ball. This is just, I mean, glad they finally remembered us, Stadia fans. I know most people have refunded that game, and they were refunding. People were refunding that game beyond that 2-hour limit and still getting the refund because of how bad that version on Stadia was. So yeah, hopefully lesson learned. Don't just abandon a whole platform at launch. And again, it's a big undertaking. It's a like a game at scale. Like Stadia had Stadia had a rough time launching because they released a online platform which requires servers and talking to different things, and it had some bumps in the road the first week, which Stadia did, and everyone ripped apart and then moved on. And unfortunately, this game was able to save face by patching and talking about it, but it's a full platform. But that's me rambling. But yeah, glad we finally got this patch. You guys, I mean, as a Outriders fan, have you actually gone back and played that game recently, or as a game that you kind of got your fill of it and went on to the next Game Pass game?
That game was only successful because of the scenario in which it came out. It was on Game Pass, so it got a ton of people there. It came out in April when shit all was coming out. And it was the definition of a fun couple weekends with friends. Like, I don't know. It was fun. It was really fun at the time. I think I tweeted out in August. I was like, holy shit, Outriders came out this year. Because it's just one of those games I think I kind of instantly forgot about. Like, I had my fun while I had my fun, and then I was just done. I was on to something else. And I haven't thought about it. Like Returnal, I still think about all the time. Ratchet and Clank, I actually haven't beat, so I need to go back and finish that up. Like, as this game of the year conversation is coming up, I am thinking about all these games, and Outriders is constantly like right, that's the thing. So I think that's why they saw the success that they did. I'm not even trying to necessarily knock the game, but it came out in a perfect storm.
I listen to a lot of, listen to Nextlander and Giant Bomb a lot. Like I said, I don't really listen to a lot of Kind of Funny anymore. I listen to some other stuff. And the only person I know, I listen to topics here and there when I find it topical. But I do the only person I know that like in that realm that has still plays Outriders is like Vinny Caravella, who's from Nextlander, used to be Giant Bomb. And he still plays with his brothers who like live all over. His brother lives in Australia. Like they usually play that like or Destiny online, and like they hang out through that or Apex Legends. So but like that's the only person I know that's like still talks about that game on a decently regular basis. So, but yeah, I was curious if you still played it at all, or jumped back in, or was curious to jump back in. Obviously, this doesn't help you at all, this patch, but
no,
on Stadia. But
if it went pro, I would consider actually restarting a game on Stadia and seeing if you guys wanted to jump in. But it would have to be pro. Like, there's just no way I'm paying for this game.
No,
this is a game I see going on pro like next April. This coming April,
like it's 1 year anniversary kind of deal.
I can see it coming on. Like the fact that we have, I'm actually really excited and curious because I thought we were gonna get this week on Stadia today because they usually do it on Tuesdays and they pushed it this week, and we still have got the pro games for next month. So I'm like, I can see either A, it being Outriders, or B, it being Avengers, because we got Avengers on Game Pass recently. So I could see that being a possible pro game.
Yeah, just give me cross progression for the love of God.
I know, right?
I would play it so much on Stadia if I could carry my progression over.
Oh, for Avengers?
Yes.
Yeah,
or Outriders, either one.
See, I'm still waiting for the fact that I'm like, every month that goes by, I'm like, are they going to just release Spider-Man on PS4 yet? Because like, are they gonna talk about it? Are they gonna release it? Are they gonna announce it? Because I'm like, I want to play. Like, every single time it goes on sale, I'm gonna buy it, and I'm like, but is Spider-Man gonna come out
by the end of the year? They've announced that he'll be here before.
Oh, they did say by the end of the year.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
He's officially on the roadmap, which means we are literally within 2 months. If I had to guess, so then you're gonna package that with No Way Home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That comes out in December, right?
Yep.
Yeah, probably that, or probably 2 weeks before. Give people
just around that time frame though. They're gonna ride the Spider-Man hype train, and which is why I bought it on PlayStation. I know a lot of people were mad about that.
No, that's the only reason why I'm like, I've been wanting to buy it on Stadia. I'm like, but Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Say it, but Spider-Man. Anyways, give me cross progression, you cowards. Speaking of things that took way too long though, bulk capture delete is finally here. Tell us all about it.
I'm really excited about this. Why are you laughing?
The tone.
I mean, as the screen capture queen, apparently, I think you should be very excited about this.
I am. I was being like honest. I'm actually excited about this. This is from Lee Reed. At Stadia Source, it seems that recently Stadia have been on the roll with adding new features and improvements to the platform. They have today confirmed that another new feature has been added, one that has been requested for some time. You can now bulk delete your Stadia captures, which, by the way, I have a ton from Immortals, so I am very excited that I'm able to actually go through and edit it, because the amount of times that you're trying to get that really good photo when you're flying around and then you're just with a ton of different photos and you only need one of them. This is
trying to get that lightning bolt, like the lightning bolt on the mountain.
You want to get a lightning bolt. You want to get that correct lighting, very, very important. Now, at the moment, you can only do this via web browser. Hopefully, they will roll it out on mobile soon, as that would make the process even easier. The confirmation came from Grace from Google over at Reddit, on Reddit. Hi, everyone. We hope you're enjoying the capture feature to record your favorite moments on Stadia. We understand how frustrating it can get when you're navigating through all of those screenshots and clips. With that being said, we're excited to announce that the rollout of the bulk delete feature on the web. This feature will allow you to easily remove captures that are no longer needed, so that you can take and keep meaningful captures. Again, this may be just a small feature, but it is very much a welcomed one. Keep them coming, please, Stadia team. Honestly, the amount of times that I've accidentally pressed on the photo button on the controller is crazy.
Unbelievable.
It is
unbelievable.
mind-boggling.
How many times you do that?
Yeah, like, oh, I'm staring at my feet. Oh, I'm trying to press a button. Bam, I take a photo. I'm like, what?
Why did I
And so
hit
then
that
I forget
one?
about it. And then I forget about it. And then I'm like, wait, I have a ton of photos and I want to.
Because literally, I just want to go to hit this button all the time and just hit the capture button instead.
All the time.
So much.
All the time.
Also,
so
just shout out to this Ursley, this grip thing. It's fantastic, actually.
That's
$10 is awesome.
Yeah.
It's adjustable too. It's really cool. Sorry.
No. That's. I was about to say that looks very like professional. It almost looks.
It's very good. It's very robust. Yeah. The 3D printed one that I bought from that small boy, entrepreneur boy, it broke, so I wouldn't stay on my controller anymore. So he sent me like a handwritten letter saying like, I'm an entrepreneur. I want to make it's a 3D printing business. I'm like, good for you, kid. Like, I don't know. You may have been like 12, and may have been like 18 for all I care. But either way, he wrote me like a note, and like I appreciate that.
Oh, that's really nice.
But it was but no, this is the Orsley thing. I was between like, do I buy the Kishi or do I just buy this and wait for the Backbone to have an Android version? And I went with the wait for Backbone to have an Android version. So I went with this for now. So
it looks awesome. Yeah, I just think that this is really great. I do hope that they do bring out a mobile version because honestly, I would probably just do this regularly, like just checking on the amount of photos that I currently have and then just select them on my phone. And it's kind of like one of those things that you could do kind of like to pass the time if you have like something on the TV and you just need something to do on your phone. So I honestly think it would be a great addition to the mobile version, but for now, I'm really happy that they do have this option because I know the amount of times that I've checked my photos, getting frustrated, then realizing I can't bulk delete them, and I'm like, this is too much, and then I just leave them there, so there's just an abyss of screenshots.
Everything comes to the PC first, though, for Stadia. That's like the
for sure,
which is fine. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Sorry, PC web browser, I should say.
Web browser.
So, yep.
Yeah,
fair.
Cool stuff.
Another new feature is they are trialing the trials. Stadia is considering trying out trials. This comes from 9 to 5 Google. After announcing platform exclusive features in 2 new games today, Google Stadia is quietly adding another new feature. Starting today with one title, Google Stadia is adding support for free trials to games. And it doesn't even require a Stadia account, which I think is probably the coolest piece of this story.
Biggest part of it.
Yes. Spotted by Gem, Google Stadia has opened up the ability to get a 30-minute free trial to its exclusive title, Hello Engineer. This option allows players to try it out out the title without a paid Stadia Pro subscription. This title in particular is free with Pro currently for a limited time before spending the $20 to purchase it outright. Here was an update today or yesterday. Through a Reddit comment, Google confirmed that this feature is in testing now and will be expanded to more games over the next couple of months, though we don't know what these games will include. Better news, though, is that Google says players don't need a Stadia account at all to play these free trials, taking all friction out of the process. True to the company's word, we can see the functionality right here in the screenshot. Audio listeners, although you will still need Google account to play. So you do need a Gmail account. Don't have to necessarily sign up for Stadia. We talk constantly on this show for almost 2 years now about removing barrier to entry. And this is a huge step towards that.
Yeah.
No Pro. Don't even need a Stadia account. If you have a Gmail and you just want to see if this technology works, you can do it. Jakey, I think you're on mute, bud.
You're on mute.
Yes, I am, because I was typing my keyboard's too loud. Because I was looking up something for when I'm talking later. But yeah, I was listening to everything you're saying, and no, it's a thing that should have been this should have been added a year ago or beyond. Like really the first, it's the easiest way, especially even at launch, they should have had this. Like, if you want to get people to try your platform out, what better way than giving them literally the lowest bar of entry, which what person in the universe doesn't have a Gmail account at this point? Besides your dad who has a freaking Verizon account that's now Hotmail, that's now Yahoo or whatever.
Yeah.
Or Yahoo bought Verizon, right? Or vice versa. But anywho, unless you have a random old person, everyone has a Gmail account at this point.
Drop your AIM account, Grandpa. Get a Gmail and try the Stadia.
it's just great to have that lower barrier of entry. It's an interesting game they chose. I think it just technically came out of early access, but it's just an odd choice to me. I think there's better games to showcase Stadia, and I've heard that game like has a from what I saw some people, the character creator is like really robust in that game. So if people can get lost in that character creator, then in 30 minutes you're done. They're like, oh no, there's no Stadia.
Sorry.
So I think they could have chosen a better game that could just get you right into like Guilt. I think would have been a good game to get into right away, especially right now, like spooky season. Come on,
spooky.
Know your audience. I think that would have been a good game, a better game to just jump people into for 30 minutes, because I think the first 30 minutes of the game gets you wanting to see what's next. That's just my 2 cents. But I hope there was more games.
What game would you put on here, and what do you think of this service?
Dead by Daylight. Literally right now.
Great choice.
They had a free weekend. Like this would have been a great opportunity to get people on Stadia, because we actually ran into that issue last week when we were playing Dead by Daylight, because I'm like, Harv, you could just download, like, you don't even need to download the game. Like if you want to like just play Dead by Daylight and not have to worry about it, you can just play it on Stadia. Mind you, did he chuckle at me? Sure. That's Harv. But like I still gave them that option Stadia. Because I'm like, you're like, it's one of those things where like he's not really going to be interested. Like he might like this, he's just trying it out to just play with us. And quite frankly, just like the way that like how large Dead by Daylight's about a 56 gigabyte download on your computer. If you're
a big boy.
So like let's say on a Friday night, your friends are like, hey, we're all going to play Dead by Daylight. And then they had that, like, if you had that free access to be able to play it on Stadia, you wouldn't even have to wait to download it. You could just jump into the game. And I know for some people that sounds like, oh, that sounds too good to be true. Or, oh, goodness, like my frames are just a little bit off. But honestly, like kind of like tossing up, do I want to wait hours for a 56, 57 gigabyte download or be able to play with my friends right away? I would say friends right away. And instantly. Right now, instantly.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. I just think if like some random person like, oh, I try Stadia out for like a hot second, and jumping into Dead by Daylight would be like kind of overwhelming in terms of like, there's a lot to like take in on that game.
You know what, Ben 10 or Peppa Pig.
Ben 10 would be a great game. Ben 10 was a decent show. I was kind of on the end of that like that age group for that show, but it was a decent show.
I'd put him in Avengers. Let's do it. The opening 30 minutes of that game is the bridge where you get to try every single character, and it's like a perfect introduction to get a feel for it. So I think that'd be a really solid one.
Or Immortals. I could see Immortals doing really well, just because of the conversation, like the narration is really great, and it kind of has like that kind of like user-friendly introduction on how to actually play. So I think that would be a great option, and it runs perfectly on the computer. And Frank also said specifically, Dead by Daylight is perfect for Stadia. It's no frills on the tech side and capped at 60 frames anyway. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love it.
Good stuff.
So that Trials is coming soon. What is out now is patch 3.38, and Jake is here with your breakdown.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna okay, you got it. Oh my goodness, you're on it today. I was like getting ready to pull it up. You're like, nope, I got it. Although I still wish you had dark mode is such a beautiful thing. I wish you would like, but yeah, that's a lot. That's a big ask. I know, I understand. But yeah, Stadia has added in part of 3.38 the update they do. Of course, 9 to 5 Google always on top of their APK breakdowns, which I really appreciate. Some new stuff. They're adding playability tips, which is just general stuff in terms of like for now, tips are relatively simple things that every player should know to maximize their connection quality. Of Ethernet is more stable than Wi-Fi. Switch to Ethernet if you can. Switch to 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, and this router setting can improve gameplay, which is a good little tips for people that a lot of people have issues like, oh, my network is my I see so many people like my internet couldn't be able to handle Stadia. Like no, your Wi-Fi could even your data signal could probably handle Stadia. So you're lying.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the more minor additions of this update. Big stuff is Stadia controller in Android TV. One interesting tidbit that shows up in Stadia 3.38 is a new internal feature flag, which appears to be actually be for Android TV app. This has become this is possible because Stadia is Android and Android TV apps are both written in Dart, which is there's a hyperlink for that. But while there's no other information for that, it is the name of the flag alone speaks volumes. Enable Gotham input on ATV platform UI. This is bearing. There's going to be some more Gotham news later on.
Right. Foreshadowing, one might say.
Yeah, I was going to say a little foreshadowing. Like, is this really this feature? Are you sure? For context, Gotham is a code name for Wi-Fi based input for Stadia, most notably from the Stadia controller. But it also be recently launched a phone link. Meanwhile, ATV is shortened for Android TV, which is included in Google TV devices. So just a cool another additional stuff for the Google TV stuff, which is good to see. More Google TV and Android TV abilities is what we were looking for.
Anytime I think they show that they're still supporting the platform is a positive.
Exactly. And there's a few things I wanted to add. I didn't want to pull a whole article for these because the article that was posted about this was really did not have a full understanding of these features because the article was titled Stadia launches streaming enabled features, and all these features have been around for like a year plus. But the big one is Doom Eternal added state share support with this newest update, which is like wild and random and awesome because that'd be a cool game, like going to that level with like your gun set and wherever you have your gun sets and give it to another friend, or if you're streaming to your fans to see if they can do what you did or how they handle
speed running, like see how fast you can get to these levels because that game is supposed to be so aggressive.
Exactly. So that's just a really cool like feature that they're actually adding to that. And then the other thing was Stream Connect was actually added to Far Cry 6. So just like they're just kind of following up on some of those features and games that are still getting those features. So yeah, Ubisoft, like the entire Stream Connect lineup is Ubisoft and then Orcs Must Die 3. Oh, no, Outriders too. So there's some Square Enix in there, but yeah, it's all. But that's cool. So, and just a random update. Baldur's Gate 3 got an update for Stadia, so I want that game to come out for release so I can play it.
I just want the game to come out.
I just want the game to come out so badly. I just want it badly. I just want it to come
out. If it could just come out.
I just wanted to add that in because I want that game badly. I want to give them my money, but I just can't justify it when the game's not finished yet, and they're going to possibly lose saves and like nothing. But they had a substantial update this one, so.
Yes. I just want the game. Just give me the game. Just give me the game.
Give it to me now.
Another really brief story. I didn't apparently make a banner for, even though I thought I had a really witty comment about this. Fee, talk to us about iOS getting touch controls.
Well, this is great news for. Well. Okay, I'm gonna try to fix. Apparently, the last time when I sounded excited, I was being sarcastic. So I'm gonna try to sound not so sarcastic.
I'm sorry, I was busting you.
You're doing great. You're doing great so far.
I'm doing so good. Okay, Stadia brings its direct touch controls to iOS devices. This is from Kyle Bradshaw over at 9 to 5 Google. Earlier this year, Stadia debuted a new method of playing cloud games on Android by passing your touchscreen press through to the game. Now, this direct touch control scheme is coming to Stadia iOS app. Debuting the release of the Sega's Humankind, a 4X game rivaling the Civilization series. Stadia Direct Touch enables mobile-like controls for games that wouldn't otherwise get a mobile release. The feature makes perfect sense in context of Humankind, as the mobile gamers would normally be required to use a controller, which would then be incredibly slow and make everything very chunky for a 4X game. In that, Direct Touch is able to differentiate between 1, 2, and 3 finger presses and gestures. I'm switching this to light mode because holy moly, for some reason, trying to read on a dark screen is no. Don't worry.
I was just singing the praises of dark mode. And I'm just like,
I love dark mode, but for some reason, it's just not working for me today. I don't know why. While the feature seems obvious at first, it's actually fairly complicated as Stadia needs to accurately map the touches
as Aaron switches to the dark
on
mode.
your screen to touches in the same areas on the cloud server gameplay. When you consider that many phones are not playing Stadia games in perfectly sized, shaped for 1080p display, meaning touches won't simply match up to the one-to-one. The magic of Direct Touch comes to light, and that's not even accounting for the fact that any input lag would be significantly more noticeable on the touch screen versus a controller. Honestly, this is really exciting. And I know obviously that this is coming out, like this has come out to Android first because of Google and Android and Stadia. But we better. But it is a very rare occurrence for it to come on to iOS later on. Like whenever we hear anything about like newer applications coming out, you always hear like, oh, it's coming to iOS, it's coming to iOS, and then you're just like, oh, it's not coming to like Android. So it's kind of refreshing to kind of see that it's the other way around. And yes, I do know that Stadia is Google, but it is really nice as someone who has constantly been plagued by that. As someone who used to I used to play mobile games all the time. So it's really nice to be able to see this and be able to get this for not only Android now, but iOS users as well. Because earlier this year, like for the longest time, iOS users didn't even have access to this, or like just Stadia in general.
Yeah.
So
or any cloud platform,
or any cloud, because so having this option, just I'm really excited about it. I think it's really cool that people who are using iOS devices now have access to this, just because it means more people get to like experience humankind. I personally haven't tried it out yet, but I'm a huge fan of Civilization, so I'm definitely gonna have to pick it up and try it out at some point.
No, it's a game I'm interested in as well. I tried playing the demo when they had it a year ago now.
Yeah,
on Stadia, but and it was actually like it was marked down a lot for this, that the introduction to it was not clear at all, like what to do. So they've since patched it. The onboarding's a lot better now. But I think it's just impressive that they got this feature on a progressive web app, because it's not even like an actually integrated app. It's essentially a web app that's like just better. So it's just really cool that they're able to get this feature on iOS, which is only accessible via progressive web app. So I think it's just cool. It's cool tech.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
And her actually works really well too, from seeing the internet's talk about it.
As a true Android fanboy, I tend to make fun of Apple, but honestly, I'm glad that Stadia is being able to figure out more and more ways to get this to Apple users, so that more people will absolutely try it. So
yeah,
the unfortunate reality is more, and at least in the US, there's more users of iPhone than there are.
Yeah. So it makes sense.
Oh yeah, what you doing over there, Aaron?
Just adjusting all up in here. Sometimes my mic goes auto and turns me up and you guys down, and so I just had to, it's fine. So why are you calling me out right now? AT&T, Google, and Batman are teaming up. This is probably the biggest topic of the show tonight. AT&T is working with Warner Brothers to offer a streaming version of Batman Arkham Knight powered by Stadia's streaming technology. This article comes from 9to5 Google. When Google began the process of shutting down Stadia Games Entertainment, it was announced that Google would begin working with partners to offer Stadia's streaming capabilities. Many saw this as a sign that Stadia would become the backbone for streaming services, being Stadia in everything but name. Today, thanks to Warner Brothers and AT&T, we have our first example of Stadia acting as the behind-the-scenes provider for another service's game. Specifically, current AT&T wireless customers can stream Batman Arkham Knight directly from their Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge browser. Interestingly, despite this being an AT&T wireless promotion, gameplay is only available on desktop and laptop devices and not their smartphones. Once you've signed in using your AT&T phone number and billing zip code, you're greeted to a landing page with an FAQ and a play now for free button. Clicking that play button boots you into a full screen streaming experience that looks almost identical to what Stadia players have through the Chrome today, albeit in light mode instead of dark. So Jacob's out. Digging a bit deeper, while Stadia is not mentioned by name anywhere on the page, we found that the necessary web requests to start streaming connect to Google servers and make mention of a cloudcast, which is one of the internal code names for Stadia's technology. All signs point to this being Stadia in everything but name. What do you guys make of this? This is the first time we've seen the capabilities of Stadia or Google white labeling their service.
Well, I think it's funny that they literally have it in light mode and it's the white label. So
a lot of people online were saying that we shouldn't make a deal out of this. This is a nothing story, that it doesn't mean anything. That's bull. Like, this is a huge deal. They took their technology and let somebody else utilize it to stream a game.
It makes the Stadia more sustainable for them. That's a business.
Yeah.
Like, the architecture in general makes it more sustainable. So yeah, some of these games, hopefully, since it's already ported to Vulkan, can now just come over to Stadia. Maybe it's a timed release or not on their whatever the individual platforms are. They want to do with this, like even just promotions like this. Maybe in 2 to 4 months we get Arkham Knight, or maybe even the whole trilogy on Stadia for all we know, like plus Origins, whatever. If they whatever.
Yeah, definitely opened some doors for the Batman and like just overall series. I think it's with a lot of things like I know we constantly talk about like the Avengers and a lot of like the MCU kind of character like video games, but having things like Batman, I know so many people that would be really excited, or even being able to go and try it out. And people who say that this isn't a huge deal, I don't understand what you're talking about. Right? Do you not have AT&T and that's why you're like just being angry about it? Like, I don't know what's going on, because it just allows people to get access. And I think it's really cool that allows more people to get access to this game. And it's a promotion for sure, but I think it's really exciting for Stadia. And I hope that it does mean that we do get to see more DC labels in Stadia.
The people who are mad, I think, are afraid and they don't understand. They don't want to admit that this is a sign that like Stadia is going away. Which it's not. It's not a sign of that. But the concept of people saying, "Oh, see, Stadia is already abandoning the traditional Stadia platform to start white labeling their service," means Stadia is going away. The two aren't mutually exclusive. Stadia can, like Jake said, financially support their core product of Stadia, the streaming service that we know it, by white labeling out their cloud service to people like AT&T and get these things done. It's so much so that this is obviously a symbiotic relationship, that if you click on the prominent Learn More button on the Arkham Knight page, it actually leads you to a general AT&T gaming page, which primarily consists of info about Google Stadia, including the carrier's ongoing promotion offering a free Stadia Premier Edition bundle.
And I think the big other outrage is the fact that like Stadia, like powered by Stadia, isn't like in the corner of every freaking thing. Like, I think that's which is not. It's really powered by Google Cloud Services, Google Cloud Gaming, which is like a division of Google now. Which like actually blanking out his name, Jack, the guy used to work for PlayStation. I'm blanking out his last name right now. He ended up moving from. He was like he's the guy that was on Kind of Funny's. He came on. We Have Cool Friends, and they did a whole thing about Stadia, and then Greg has continued to bomb Stadia since it came out. Blanking out his name right now. But anyway, a guy that was a head person on Stadia moved over to Google Cloud Gaming. We've talked about it like a month or two ago. And this is the first fruits of that labor, I guess, if you will. Probably not his actual labor, but no, it just, again, like you said, it's them providing more for the service. I just think a lot of the outrage is Stadia is not more prominently mentioned in the actual service. It's just
Are you referring to Jake Boozer?
Is it
Jack Boozer?
Jack? Is it Jack? Yeah, Buser. Yeah, whatever.
Buser. Sorry.
Yeah.
I said
That's
Buser, and I was like, he's gonna say I'm thinking of Busey. Gary Busey?
Gary Busey, no. Gary Busey was in Hitman 1 originally.
No, that's true. There was a whole special mission, take out Gary Busey.
I don't know. We're like, and I
just one sentence, V. Just form one full sentence.
It's like 3 sentences trying to come out at once. No, I think we're in the year 2021, and I know that we have this kind of like understanding in this mental archetype of like how gaming is supposed to be structured. Like Steam, we know what Steam is, we know what PlayStation is. You play it on a console. If you want to play on Xbox, they've now branched onto PC very, very successfully, and then on Xbox and
even I know PlayStation.
And yeah, PlayStation. So having this new, like, this is really weird, like, for a lot of people thinking that like, oh, this doesn't make any sense, or it goes back to like people just not wanting to accept change, or at least like something new and different in gaming, which seems really weird because you would assume that everyone wants to take a step forward instead of constantly being stuck in the idea that gaming should be one way. And I think we've been seeing this a lot, not only with Stadia, but with things like cross progression or specific exclusives going on to PC. I don't know what I'm talking about there.
Right. But that's what I was about to say is I don't understand this weird gatekeeping bullshit. I don't get any gatekeeping, but especially this new wave of like, no, my exclusive has to stay exclusive. And it's like, no, all PlayStation games need to stay on PlayStation. Otherwise, I can no longer say PlayStation is my preferred platform because of exclusives. And it's like, oh, I can no longer say like I'm only on Stadia because suddenly Stadia is also technically through AT&T. Like it's the weirdest thing to care where the games go, despite what platform you want to play them on.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that this kind of opens kind of a door to AT&T because, shocker, they sell mobile phones.
And they also own Warner Brothers, who happens to make games.
Whoa.
And owns Batman.
That's bonkers.
And some Harry Potter game that's coming out, apparently.
Yeah, bonkers. So it makes the most sense if they want to do something like this and have an exclusive right to bring this over on a streaming service that maybe in the future they can say like, hey, AT&T and Stadia or whatever they might specifically want to do with the white label and say, we are offering cloud services and then you can stream it on your mobile phone. Because I know there was a whole promotion a while ago for, Samsung and Fortnite. And so having that ability for like streaming like Stadia to like have this option, it kind of opens doors to mobile companies to offer like these exclusives and be like, oh, if you buy our phone or if you have our service, you can get this particular thing for free. And I know we joke around consistently the last episode talking about like, oh, you want a new like a pro package? If you go with
get
AT&T,
a Premier Edition.
Premier Edition, you get a controller, you get 3 months of free Stadia. And I just think that it makes like, it really like confuses me on a regular basis, the amount of, and I agree with you, Aaron. It's a lot of gatekeeping and it just doesn't make any sense because at the end of the day, it should be people enjoying games and everyone should be able to get access, whatever that might be. And in this case, it's a cloud option for AT&T like users. And that's great. That allows them to be able to play the game. And getting upset because it's like, oh, it's Stadia, but it's under a white label. Like, it's new. It's like, we should be like excelling with this and being excited about a change rather than consistently trying to bring it down. So it kind of, it's kind of a sad day. Like, I think for me, it's just like another sad day in gaming if people are going to be bitter about it.
Yeah, people need to get over themselves. Like, we played Game of a Generation God of War years ago. I don't care that it's on PC now.
Yeah.
I'm glad other people are finally going to get to experience this game.
At that point, Sony has made their money off of that game.
Yes.
Like,
and it going to PC doesn't somehow ruin your experience of playing it on PlayStation.
No.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I have more people to talk about God of War with. Like, God forbid. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like that.
You didn't really play God of War. You used a mouse and keyboard.
Like,
what?
You can play with your PlayStation controller. If you really want to get that upset about it, just tell people to use their. It will never make any sense to me. It's the same people who got upset about what is it, Horizon coming to PC. Like people just like
all of them.
Oh my god, this game came out in 2018. Oh my god. Like,
and PlayStation's middle finger recently of coming out and saying we now have a division called PlayStation PC. That was glorious. They're just like, we're not going anywhere with this. Like, get over it. We're gonna start putting games on PC.
They bought a PC porting studio.
Yeah. Like, what did you expect?
Oh, they're just gonna not use it.
Bringing it back to Stadia, but in the comments, also, if AT&T does good with Batman, they may do more business with Stadia. # mo money, and that's what it's about.
And WB, who again is owned by AT&T now, happens to also make Mortal Kombat, which was one of the first games to actually support a lot of the streaming features that Stadia has now, like a lot of the YouTube streaming features. The crowd play, and crowd choice was all. The MK was like one of the first games they demoed with that. So I mean, that's another game that I could see them doing a promotion with Stadia, with or Google Cloud Gaming. But
yeah, I'm just saying, in like 3 years' time, when they decide to make a video game about this, because they already had one. And mostly because I now have a new obsession with the Dune series. If they come out with Dune, it's with Warner Brothers. So please put Dune the video game on Stadia. This is just me putting this out into the ether. So in the next 2 to 5 years, when they decide to actually come out with a Dune game, in hopes, fingers crossed, Stadia.
Oh man, good stuff.
Yeah.
And I can't believe it, but that actually wraps it up for the 32nd episode of Speaking of Stadia. Fiona, the one who puts can do in Canada, even though there's no O in Canada. I don't know why that makes me laugh. Tell the people where they can find you.
Absolutely. So you guys can find me over on twitch.tv/Ceranics. I have been live streaming my adventures through Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. I cried consistently last night, so if you really want to watch that VOD, go for it. It was insane, and I'm really excited to continue. I'm planning on also playing some other games and maybe doing some art streams later on. So definitely check me out over there. You can also check me out on Point in Progress, where I live stream every Friday and talk about video games with 4 of my friends. And it's a lot of fun. Tomorrow night, we're dressing up for Halloween. Ooh, nice. Spooky. And then playing DBD after. So that's going to be really fun. Also, I am the co-captain for Kind of Funny Extra Life, so I'm going to be running around like a chicken with my head cut off for the next 2 weeks. So if you find me out in the ether or on Twitter, you'll definitely be seeing me tweet out a lot about it on my Twitter, and I apologize in advance anyone who is following me there. So yeah.
Get on it. Help the big, beautiful kids. Do some streaming and do some good. You know what I mean? Let's raise some money. I'll be participating with you, Fee.
Woo!
Be helping raise that money. Mr. Porter, where can the people find you at other than, of course, running our Twitter page, especially now, because I don't know how to get into our Twitter page.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. Obviously, at Too Tall Porter, as you see below my beautiful beard and everything else. But yeah, I would say, like, if we can do a Stadia stream for your Extra Life stuff, that'd be awesome. So
hell yeah,
like, all of us play Stadia. Cool. So we've been talking about doing it for one of these games, so we gotta finally freaking do it.
Dead by Daylight, my friends.
And what better reason to do it? And what better reason to do it is not for the big beautiful games?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's where you can find me. Again, Twitter, whatnot. Real quick, I wanted to shout out just this article that I found it literally as I was going through Twitter, like right before this. I'm just going to show this a little bit. It's the longer article than this, but let's just agree that Stadia is actually fine. And so Google's cloud gaming service isn't perfect, but for plenty of players, it's enough. it just talks about how. Oh no, this is the one I was looking for. No,
this is the one you had in the doc, and this one's from April.
Yeah,
it's a really good article.
No, there's another one that I saw
There's a new
posted
one.
8 hours ago from the Wire. Can I just go here? Okay, let's look. There's one about like how trying to get friends to play Stadia. Oh my goodness, I messed this up. Never mind. There's an article from them. I lost it. I'm sorry. Pretty much is about how like trying to get your friends to play Stadia. It's I'm gonna look. The Wired Stadia. I guess that's what came up. Anywho, it's just about how like become trying to get people to play, like convince your friends or other people to play Stadia is tough. It's actually what the article is about, based on the headline. But it looks like a cool article. They've done, like, again, that was an article that they did earlier this year. They've done some really good pieces on Stadia in general. So like do a little required reading as we're trying to do, but goofed it a little bit. But yeah, look up their recent Stadia article. I think it's on their Twitter. They posted it like 9 hours ago now. So definitely check them out. I think it's a really cool little article. So
nice.
That's it for me.
That one from April is still a really good article. I think it's fascinating. Either way, you can also find me on Twitter at Aaronseaney, AARONSEANEY. Coming out with me where I'm usually talking about, I don't know, just the most random shit. Recently it's been really good screenshots of Rocket Raccoon from Guardians, though. So that photo mode, it's juicy. But until next time, it's been great. This is the 32nd episode of Speaking of Stadia. We will be back in 2 weeks on Tuesday, maybe. Probably. We're hoping.
Hopefully.
Until then, next time, thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We appreciate you so much. Peace.